NHT Global distributors from all over the world. Global Ambassador Joe Garcia here in my home office, just outside of Toronto. And we've got Global Ambassador Dan Catto in his boardroom and his beautiful home in Toronto.
Hey, Joe. Hey, everybody.
Yes, Dan and I wanted to put together a quick little video and some of the tips that we've learned over the years. And Dan, we've got some exciting news that just happened here in September 2017, September 2016, and September 2015. Can you share with everybody what's going on?
Yeah, well, Joe, what's been happening in our industry has been incredible. What's been going on around the world, in particular with our industry outside of North America, but domestically, some incredible things are happening. Now, that's within the industry. There's some exciting things that are happening within our industry around the world for the average person to create freedom, to have this incredible success that they felt that they couldn't get in any other industry. But, I remember reading a quote from, it was the Wall Street Journal a number of years ago, and it said, "Don't marry for money. Go where the money is, then fall in love." And, if you want an opportunity to be able to provide freedom, and that's not just financial freedom, which you obviously get here, but freedom in all aspects of your life. Our industry is certainly doing that, and you can do that, but it doesn't take you 25, 35, or 45, or 55 years to accomplish that. So many of our people that are getting involved in our industry here today are doing that within a few years, being able to provide this freedom for themselves and their family financially, but in so many other aspects. But we certainly, just as I was sharing with you, we're in the right industry because that is happening. Our industry is absolutely exploding. This year, this industry will surpass about $250 billion in business. So we're certainly in the right industry. We're breaking a new millionaire in our industry every single day in our industry somewhere around the world. So financial freedom is happening. But within the industry, have you got the right company? And what has been exciting with us, because we're publicly traded, everything is absolutely transparent. We're not privately held, we're transparent. We're trading on probably the most scrutinized index in the world, on the NASDAQ, out of New York, on Wall Street. And now it's just happened, not the first time, not the second time, but the third time. And Joe, for people in our industry, certainly our associates that are involved with us are just off the wall with what's happened with us. 3 years ago, we were ranked as the second fastest growing publicly traded company in the world, not in North America, not in a particular market, not in a certain country, hemisphere, in the entire world, in every industry, not just this industry. Publicly traded, number 2 in the world. Wow, to be a part of that is pretty exciting. Well, we did it again the following year, but we did it even better. We became number 1. People couldn't believe that you were back to back. Mind you, I guess you could say we had a mulligan that very first year because we came second. But the second year, we were number 1. People couldn't believe it outside of our industry, let alone inside our industry. Well, it just happened again. Fortune 100 just ranked us again as the fastest growing publicly traded company in the world. And I know you're going to flash this here in a minute. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yes.
I mean, insane that you're a part of it. And, I've had people say, you just want to be a part of a wave that is happening. You just all ships will carry in a rising tide. Well, again, in the top 2, the number 1 last year, number 1 the year before, and the second 3 years ago, to have that happen, to be a part of that, we're humbled, we're proud, but most importantly, we're very excited about it. And Joey, you and I were right around the very beginning of this company when we had just one product. We only had one website. You and I were the first distributors. We did that very first meeting, and we helped found this company back in 2001, in the spring of 2001. You and I did have this vision that one day we would be throughout the entire world delivering these products, these incredible services, and absolutely an unbelievable opportunity to virtually every person in every home, in every village and town and country and market around the world. We're doing that. And, privately held companies, I guess they can get away with some stuff. Sometimes you can kind of hide it under the roof or under the bed or in the closet, information like that. But when you're publicly traded, they know about the number of tissues you got in your washrooms. They know the number of pencils you got in your office. They've got the good, the bad, and the ugly on us. But I tell you, the beautiful on us is shouting out there for everyone. The most incredible thing, I think, Joe, with all of this too, is that we've been around now 17 years. And to do this in year 15, year 16, and year 17.
It's powerful.
To surpass Amazon, Apple, Google, throw them all out there. We blew them all away. Not 1 year, not 2 years, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And
can you imagine, Dan? Sort of.
Yeah, I got to finish with this because you and I are both excited. I know we've only got so much time. But what's incredible, our home office, where we were founded in Texas, and you and I were there months before the company launched and formulating all of this stuff, with that product, the first product, which is Allura. You go back to Texas, where we were founded, where that first seed was planted, the first flag was lifted, 99.9% of Texans have never heard of our company or haven't heard of our products. We're just getting started. Time is now. Absolutely. Yeah, so
yeah.
That's what I'm excited.
So just think about it, Dan. This is my 24th year in the industry.
Yes.
And you've been, 70 years yet now?
72.
72, yeah.
These products really work, right?
Okay, just think about it. In all our years, in our first year, NHT,
yeah,
we would pick up the phone. We had a very simple website, one little brochure, not professional.
Black and white.
With and we would call people and say, look, we are a penny stock right now.
Yeah.
We're going to be big one day.
Yeah.
You got to try this product. This is an incredible product. So we absolutely had no leverage.
Yeah.
Today, our distributors have a social proof.
Yeah.
In all my 24 years of this industry, I'm sure you're the same.
Sure.
When you have social proof that 3 years in a row, we're in the top 2, 3 years in a row, and we can share that with individuals all over the world and show that our business model really does work.
Right.
Look, Fortune magazine, the #1 publication in the world, business publication.
Right.
We're not buying ourselves to be #1. This is all 150% legitimate. So I call that social proof. I remember in 1993, it was June 23rd, 1993.
Yep.
My first day in the industry. I signed up that day. You were one of the trainers.
Right.
And I remember you talking about massive action.
Right.
Okay, this was in June. We're going right into the summer, and you knew the summer slows down. And you also shared something that if you go and do whatever it takes the next 90 days, the next 6 months, it will set up your income for 1994.
Yes.
What you do in the next 3 to 6 months will determine what your income will be and the size of your business in 1994.
Yeah.
So just think about now. We're in the last quarter, going into the last quarter of 2017.
Yep.
2017. Our distributors have the social proof. What should they do in the next 90 days? Next 90 days to set their income up for 2018 and what it can do if they go all out massive action in the next 90 days.
Yeah. Well, Joey, that is an automatic. We are so uniquely different than just about any other industry that I know that's out there. The analogy, probably the best that has been shared over the years about how our industry works and our business works, and particularly our model, is exactly what you said, what you shared, is that the push that you put on your business in 90 days, and we do our business in 90-day spurts. You'll do a 90-day spurt, and you kind of watch that, run your business, manage that business, drive that business after that, nurture it, fertilize it, et cetera, after that 90 days. But it's that 90-day push that you'll have in the beginning that is absolutely critical. The best analogy I've probably ever seen on this for the average person who looks at our business would be like a pilot getting his plane, off the tarmac and getting up into the stratosphere in piloting that plane. Is that in the very, very beginning, he is pulling back on the throttle on that plane when he's going down the runway, down, the tarmac, and he starts pulling back as much as he can on the throttle going up, going up, going up, and you'll get to a point, certainly as a pilot, you and I are not pilots, we're piloting our business, but piloting an aircraft. But obviously, in what we understand, when you're piloting a plane, you've got your hand on that throttle, you're going down the runway, you're pulling back as much as you can, and all of that push in the very beginning will propel you once you get up into the sky, and it's the same thing in our business. I have seen, now you and I, when we got started 17 years ago, we had no frame of reference. We had no frame of reference in terms of the products, in terms of results as far as our distributors, in terms of the company. We weren't publicly traded. We were private at the time. Eventually, we did become a penny stock, as you shared with everyone here. But what we had was vision, hope, and belief. We had belief on this industry. We certainly had a vision of where we could go, which was ultimately becoming global. But it was that massive action in the very beginning. And I've seen this time and time and time again. The DSA, the Direct Sellers Association, when they surveyed using income as a measure and as a barometer and success, just exercise, they interviewed the millionaires in our industry, people that were earning the 6 figures monthly, the 7 figures annually. They asked them, what was the critical part to your business in getting your business off to where it is today? And they said it was in the very beginning and taking out all of that all-out massive action in that first 90 days. They said, and you and I have said this before over the years, and a lot of our leaders have heard this, if you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like one. If you treat it like a business, it can pay you like one. But if you treat this very, very seriously, don't take it for granted. How many other companies are out there have what we have in terms of leverage? Now you think about it, publicly traded, having what you have in terms of what we've done in results over the last 3 years is never been done before, never been done before. And you have products that have got Nobel Prize winning research behind it. And you have 90% of our people getting to the top position in less than 5 years, where the vast majority of them have never been involved in our industry. And as you know, a lot of them never even held a job before. And you know what that top position pays at that position financially? It's incredible. The biggest thing that I find, in holding people back is they just take it for granted. They don't have that sense of urgency. They need to look down inside themselves and find out what do they really want. Because in terms of dreams, the vision is here. I mean, we're going around the world, as you and I know, and a lot of our leaders, and that's why they're hitting it like they are. But if you don't take this for granted, if you just let this pass you by, because we're seeing this today, Joe, you and I are, how many people have we talked to today that back 17 years ago, even 15 years ago, and 10 years ago, well, tell me when you get to this level. Tell me when the company does this. Tell me, talk to me when you introduce this particular product. In the very beginning, they never thought you and I would last. They never thought the company would last. They never thought we were going to do other products. They never thought we were going to get into other markets. And, our vision and our belief and our faith was the biggest thing that we had then. Today, we've proven that. But what we've done over the last 17 years, Joey, as you know, we are just going to blow that away, what we're going to do over the next 5 to 10 years. So it's taking advantage of that and hitting it over the next 90 days. We have the direct sales season on right now. This is prime time for people to be introduced in the opportunity with products that are revolutionary, that are cutting edge, that have Nobel Prize winning research behind it. I've always felt if you can't build in this industry, right, or build in this opportunity with us, you probably need another line of work.
Correct.
The opportunity has never been stronger. The leverage that you have around you, the support that you have around you has never been more credible. So timing is now.
Yeah, there's a window of opportunity, Dan, in the next 6 to 9 months where they can leverage off of this number one tool that you and I have ever had, which is social proof. And just think about the people that will take advantage of it now and understand it. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to put this video together, just to get into people's minds. Timing is everything in business.
Absolutely.
If you have the opportunity, the vision like we had back in 2001, that took a lot of vision, a lot of faith, a lot of expectation. But today, there's social proof. I promise you, in the next 9 months, you do whatever you have to. In the next 9 months, you can set yourself up for life. You can
Yeah,
set
no question.
yourself up
No question.
for life, or the basis of that foundation for life. And that leads me into the last part of this video that I wanted to talk about, is being all in.
Mm.
And I remember, again, when a lot of people ask me, Joe, what separated you from everybody else? What was the difference maker for you? And, it's very hard to eloquently share, everything that you did or everything that you thought of, everything, all the action items. But I really believe, Dan, that from day one, the moment I signed the application, yes, back then there was an application, 1993, I became all in. And I said to myself that if I'm going to do this, I'm never going to think about quitting. I will never allow my mind to think about quitting. That meant I was all in, 100% all in. So when I started to go and recruit and prospect and sell product, I wasn't the most talented guy back then. I had a lot of skill sets I had to develop. But the one thing that I had was that determination, that commitment. People felt my energy. I was in every conference call. I went to every meeting. I went to every event. My first event in Orlando, I had to drive 21 hours. There were 6 guys in a van. We drove right straight down from Toronto to Orlando.
I remember.
I had to be there. You know why, Dan? Because I felt it was easy for me not to go because I didn't have the cash flows back then. But I felt that if I missed that one little event, or that one phone call or that one small meeting, that I was telling the universe that I wasn't serious about my dream because I fell in love with that dream. So that fear motivated me. So I did everything. I was all in. And you know me, Dan, everything that I do, I'm all in. And I learned that from you. On that Saturday, June 23rd, where you did the meeting, there was about 7 or 8 Super Saturday trainings that day. Great talented people. And I noticed everyone after the meeting just congregated to you. Right? It was just like a flood. And I really believe today is they felt your commitment, your 100% your commitment, your willingness to do everything that you needed to do to get to your goals and your dreams. So, you and I had a discussion about, some of the geopolitical stuff that was happening when you had to go to a country, you had to do this. And you had your family telling you not to go, your mother, for example. It was that attitude that you had, that all in, that didn't allow your mind to go there. So, I wanted to commend you for that.
Appreciate it.
A great example to our NHT Global distributors. So if one wants to become successful in NHT, use these tools.
Yeah.
There's only one way to do it, is make a commitment that you're not going to quit. You're going to do whatever it takes. Think like a gold medal winner in the Olympics. And apply that faith, fall in love with your dream, and you will eventually become unstoppable. That dream will move from your head and onto your heart and eventually into your hands. So, we'll end the video and this clip right now, Dan, on your comments on being all in.
Yeah, there's a few things here, Joey. There's so much I could talk and share with everyone on that. I, just want to wrap this up give you a snapshot on this. I learned that 29 years ago from the guy that I modeled myself after. His name's Jeff. When I was broke, living with my parents on government assistance, and I saw this guy 30 years ago in the industry. It was 1988. And I saw this guy who was in his mid-20s at the time, earning a staggering amount of income, more nearly in a week than the corporate president of the company that I was working for in the traditional business world that I was coming from. He was the hardest working, committed, all-in guy in the company, making the most amount of money, whether he worked or not. He did not take it for granted. So I had to, when I got started, because I mean, it was a blessing in disguise. Every day in that first year, I had a reason to quit because of the adversity, the challenges. I mean, 29, 30 years ago, our industry wasn't as fashionable or as cool or as understood as it is today. We went through a lot of scrutiny back then. We didn't have all of the leverage that we've got today. I had to work, and I was working 20. My mother thought I was going to end up back in the hospital again because I was working so many hours, so late, all the time, but I had to. Joe, I actually had nowhere else to go. I had to make it work. So it was a blessing in disguise that I did have that fear of loss and that sense of urgency to do whatever I had to do. But it really set me up that first year and what I did, and especially that first 90 days, way back 29, 30 years ago, for my career. And it became a model of what I was doing for other leaders, other distributors, other reps that I surrounded myself with. So, and it's still that on purpose that I have today. I mean, you and I don't have to work anymore financially. You and I have actually retired into our business, which is beautiful because we love what we do. We get so much joy out of sharing this opportunity, these products, the freedom, and our vision and our mission around the world today. So we get so much from that in giving back, and obviously we get rewarded for it. But it's something I've said for years, that if what you want is greater than the resistance you'll meet, you can attain your dreams. And if your dreams are greater than your fears, you can accomplish anything. So,
what a great way to end.
Yeah.
Bye for now, Dan. Thanks very much.
Great, Joey.